Добрый вечер, уважаемые участники вебинара. Давайте буквально еще подождем 2 минуты. У нас должно быть очень много участников. Ну, буквально начнем через 2 минуты, поэтому немножко наберитесь терпения. Ну, а я пока проверю наших американских коллег. Hi, Lark. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And Leonid, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Leonid. Glad to hear you both. So, yeah, we're gonna start like in a couple minutes. So first I'm gonna tell something in Russian and then I will come back to you and we will start our webinar. All right. So how is everything?
Good.
Just good?
Just good. Just good. It's a little too early still.
Yeah, it's too early. Yeah, I realize, but it's 7 p.m. in Moscow. So
yeah, this is not so bad. I've been doing some at like very strange hours. So 8 a.m. is better.
It's good. Yeah, it's good to hear. So I think we can start now. So I'm gonna turn to Russian. Добрый вечер, уважаемые участники вебинара. Спасибо большое, что нашли время для сегодняшнего мероприятия. Для начала позвольте мне представиться. Меня зовут Константин Барков. Я являюсь специалистом по образованию в США компании Students International. Вот. И для начала позвольте мне буквально в 2 словах рассказать немножко информации о нашей компании, кто мы такие и чем мы занимаемся. Наша компания называется Students International. Мы работаем на рынке образовательных услуг с 1992 года, то есть более 28 лет оказываем услуги. Услуги мы оказываем комплексные, не только по образованию, но также у нас есть своя языковая школа, в которой есть подготовка к IELTS, как очно, так и онлайн. И вне зависимости от того, где вы сейчас находитесь, из какой точки земного шара вы нас слушаете, вы спокойно можете подготовиться к IELTS в нашей школе. Также наша компания является официальным представителем IELTS тест-центра. Я уверен, что многие из вас знают, что такое IELTS. Для тех, кто не знает, экзамен IELTS – это экзамен на знание английского языка, который необходим для поступления во все англоязычные, да и не только учебные заведения. Наша компания, как я уже сказал, работает на рынке образовательных услуг более 28 лет. Мы крупнейшая образовательная компания не только в России, но и во всей Восточной Европе. Вот, у нас более 40 офисов в России, есть офисы в Казахстане, в Украине и во Вьетнаме. Вот. Ну, и сегодняшней нашей целью является обсуждение того, как получить образование в США с наименьшими затратами. Вот. И, возможно, многие из вас уже устали от просмотра различных вебинаров, каких-то сессий и прочих виртуальных вещей, потому что сейчас действительно все перешли на платформу Zoom, Teams и другие платформы, и кому-то уже становится скучно. Поэтому мы решили сделать наше мероприятие в формате ток. Хочется добавить ток-шоу, но нет, все-таки у нас будут здесь гораздо более интеллектуальные беседы, нежели чем у Андрея Малахова по 2 каналу. Вот. Сегодня мы с вами поговорим о комьюнити-колледжах, о том, что это такое, попытаемся разобраться в этом, сколько это стоит, какие преимущества дает комьюнити-колледж, и разберем много разных вещей. И я буду задавать конкретные вопросы. Да, это самые популярные вопросы среди наших студентов и их родителей, которые, как правило, приходят к нам на консультацию и задают эти вопросы. И все эти вопросы, да, я буду адресовать нашим американским коллегам, да, и они должны будут ответить на все наши вопросы. Вот. Уважаемые участники вебинара, обратите внимание, что у каждого из вас есть возможность писать вопросы в чат. Обязательно пишите вопросы в чат. Да, все вопросы, которые у нас будут, мы обязательно постараемся на них ответить. Вот. И приступаем к официальной части нашего вебинара. Все, я переключаюсь на английский язык. Вебинар будет на английском языке. So let's greet our special guests from California, Los-Angeles, and San Francisco. So Lark, Leonid, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's too early in California. It's just 8 a.m. But thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm gonna start from general question. So I'm gonna ask Lark about this question. So Lark, please tell us, what is community college? Just briefly describe the answer.
Great. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Lark Craddy, and I'm from Foothill and ANZA colleges. And community colleges are the first educational system that you can access after you finish high school. So you would study at a community college for 2 years. You can achieve an associate's degree, which is also the first higher education degree that you can receive in the United States. And following that, you can transfer to a 4-year university where you would complete 2 more years and receive a bachelor's degree. So we call this the 2+2. 2 years at a community college, 2 years at the 4-year university, and then you receive a bachelor's degree.
Okay. And question for Leonid. So I know that Leonid can speak Russian. So Leonid, it's up to you if you speak Russian or English. It's up to you. So and the question is,
Yes.
Could you please tell us difference between the 4 years college and 2-year community college? What's the difference?
Thank you. Thank you. And good evening to all of you in Moscow as well. Are there any students from outside of Moscow?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay, so good evening to all of you, if you're in Moscow or outside of Moscow. My name is Leo Rachman, and I do work at El Camino Community College, which is located in Southern California. Good question. What is the difference between 4-year university and 2-year school? A 2-year community college, you guys just jumped. 2-year community college. So I guess the number one is access. Obviously, access to a community colleges, it's much simpler, much faster, and often better than a 4-year university because of its location. Community college located in a community where most of American students reside. The second probably would be the price. The price would be considerably lower than a 4-year university. Specifically in California, it would be the case. Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
In terms of the location itself, facilities, access, options, majors, community colleges are often richer or wealthier than a 4-year universities. A university, most of universities will probably have 50 to 60 majors. A community college like Foothill, ANZA, or El Camino will have at least 100 or more majors. There are obviously many more reasons to go to community college or differentiate from university, which is a much smaller classes, access to services, which is usually much better than a 4-year university.
So, all right. So I'm done with general questions. And the first question about location and campus facilities at Foothill and the ANZA College. So once again, dear webinar attendees, so Lark Craddy represents Foothill and the ANZA colleges, and Leonid represents El Camino Community College. So El Camino and Foothill and the ANZA College. So, and we start from Lark. So, Lark,
Right.
please briefly tell us about location and facilities of campuses.
So Foothill and ANZA are two colleges. Foothill is in Los Altos Hills and ANZA is in Cupertino. Both of these cities are about 45 minutes south of San Francisco, and they are in the heart of Silicon Valley. So Foothill College is about 15 minutes from Stanford University, and ANZA College is 10 minutes from the headquarters of the Apple company. So we have over 5,000 tech companies all within about 45 minutes of our campus. The facilities are amazing, top notch. So we have Olympic-sized swimming pool that you can swim all outside all year round. We have high-tech computer labs, research labs, dining halls, cafeteria, a library. So a lot of great facilities for our students. And the location gives you great opportunity to find job opportunities once you finish our program, also internships. So it's a great place to begin your studies along with wonderful weather.
So don't forget to mention about Silicon Valley. I'm sorry if I missed it, but
yeah, so heart of Silicon Valley, yes, definitely, with all the 5,000 companies all within Silicon Valley. So we are really in the heart of Silicon Valley. And because of that, we have great relationships with companies that are nearby. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak both attended ANZA College, and the Steve Jobs film was made at ANZA, and we had a lot of ANZA students. They were extras in the film, and it was really exciting, as well as the Apple Watch was debuted at ANZA. So because of our location and our history within Silicon Valley, we have a lot of connections and relationships, I think, that will help benefit students in their academic career.
All right, thank you, Lark. And same question to Leonid. Please tell us about El Camino location and campus facilities.
Thank you. I couldn't say even any better than Lark. So the difference between us at Lark's College, Foothill ANZA, located in Northern California, El Camino located in Southern California, which is Los Angeles area. We're probably only about 10-15 minutes away, Torrance, where we're located about 10-15 minutes away from Los Angeles as Los Angeles City. We're about 15 minutes away from Los Angeles International Airport, about 10 minutes away from Pacific beaches of Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, Palos Verdes. We are about 30 minutes away from Beverly Hills and UCLA, downtown, Chinatown. Most of the attractions, Hollywood, most of the attractions in Los Angeles area.
And Leonid.
Yes.
And what are the most popular programs for international students in El Camino?
The most popular program are pretty much the same anywhere in the United States. It's business administration. To differentiate ourselves, I guess, from others, El Camino has very, very strong film program.
Mm-hmm.
Many well-known Hollywood actors came from El Camino. Just name one, probably would be Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
So,
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually another movie which was made at El Camino, which is a Dark Knight. So if you watch Dark Knight and or the car chases, it all was made at El Camino College in our parking garage. It wasn't a night in Los Angeles, it was El Camino College parking garage. So it's to differentiate also, it's a single campus. I don't know if I mentioned or not. So everything is concentrated in one place, and it's one of the largest single campus colleges in California. It's over 1 square kilometer. So it's a very large place, many teams, tons of facilities. Campus is pretty much brand new. It's been rebuilt in the last 10 years. Construction is still going on. We also have a swimming pool, which hopefully will be used in Los Angeles Olympics. We're already applying for a venue. So many different facilities, and it's all for usage of students.
Okay. So, and can we apply for El Camino if you want to study chemistry, biology, or any engineering programs?
Yes, of course. We have 99 different majors, including nursing, science, pre-engineering, architecture, construction, physics, chemistry, geography, ecology, not directly, but as a transfer program. Geography we have as an associate degree major with a transfer to UCLA. Just to add, it is extremely rare that international students want to study geography. Once in a while we have students, but yes, it is a transfer major to UCLA.
And thanks a lot, Leonid. And same question to Lark. Could you please name the list of, let's say, 5-7 most popular programs for international students at Foothill and the ANZA College?
Well, as Leo said, business administration. So that's definitely one of our most popular, I think, throughout the US. Computer science, probably because of our location. Yeah, exactly. But also we have great graphic design programs, engineering programs, mathematic programs, biology. So we find that our students are in a very large range of different majors, and we offer over 100 different areas that you can get started in. So it really depends on the student. You can apply for one major, you can change your major, you can come in undecided and then change your major again. So one of the best features, I think, of the US education system is the flexibility. And I've heard some students in Russia who are at university, they want to change their major, and it's very difficult to do that. But in the US, you can experiment, take classes in general education, and get a broad range of experience and exposure to different subjects and areas, and then really decide what it is that you want to study. And then when you apply to the four-year university, then you really need to focus in on that area of study. But again, I would say our top majors would be business, engineering, computer science, graphic design, and biology.
All right. And do you have any STEM programs at Foothill and the ANZA College?
Yeah, absolutely. So our STEM program at Foothill College, we just built a new green building that's all for research. It's called the STEM Center, and we have a great department that welcomes students we have tutoring services located there. Again, the research labs, all of our faculty, and our faculty are usually teaching at Stanford and Foothill and ANZA. Because of our location and proximity to Stanford and UC Berkeley, we have some of the top professors who are teaching at multiple locations. So usually your faculty are from very top universities. We also have a great astronomy program, and that program, we have faculty who are doing real research. We have faculty who work through NASA. NASA Ames is located about 20 minutes from our campus. So I think that because of our location, again, you will see faculty from the STEM majors in particular that have very strong backgrounds.
All right. Thanks, Lark. And question for Leonid. How many intakes a year do you have? I'm talking about how many enrollments.
Good question. So currently, normally we used to have only 2 intakes, which was fall and spring semester. Fall is more common because many students who graduate from high schools enter in fall. Spring, we have a slightly less enrollment, but they basically equal semesters in terms of enrollment. Now, because we are online for the next couple semesters, we are taking as well for summer and winter sessions. So currently we have 4 intakes.
So you don't have to wait for the fall. So you have like 4 falls, right? I mean,
correct.
Because in Russia, you need you can apply only once in September.
Okay. Even to 2-year colleges only once a year?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
in Russia.
Right. As Lark mentioned before, community colleges and overall American education allows a lot of flexibility. Even schools, some of the University of California school allow spring enrollment. So it's not only community colleges, but also 4-year schools. So if one completes the program in fall semester and ready to transfer in spring, majority of universities in the United States will take student in spring semester, so student doesn't have to wait and waste time.
Yeah, it's very good option. And what about admission requirements? That is one of the important questions when we're talking about community colleges. Could you please tell us what we need to do in order to be accepted to Foothill or the ANZA college, or El Camino college, of course?
So at Foothill College, we have an intake in the fall, winter, and spring. The main requirements, 3 intakes. The main requirements are finish high school, and for the language, English language requirement, we require 61 IBT TOEFL score, 6.0 IELTS score, and now there are some new tests coming up. One is called Duolingo, which you can take online from your home, so that's very safe, especially during COVID. So those are the main tests that are being used. We also accept ITEP level 4. And if you have attended an English-speaking high school, we will waive the English proficiency requirement. So the main 2 requirements are just finish high school and English proficiency. We don't require any SAT scores, and we're not going to look as closely at your GPA or grades in high school. We just need to know that you finished it and you get a fresh start when you come to Foothill and ANZA. So those are really the only 2 requirements. No essay, no letters of recommendation, no SATs.
Right. And what about El Camino requirements, admission requirements?
What a relief. So El Camino has very similar admission requirements. Our TOEFL, IELTS tests are a little lower than Foothill ANZA because we have very strong academic ASL, and we will waive all the language requirements if students will enter our language program. We have on campus our own language program, which we offer to students who do not have English skills or do not have English test. Just to answer Karina's question, correct, Foothill ANZA or El Camino College will not require SAT or ACT or any other scholastic test, only English language test. And again, TOEFL is much more expensive as Duolingo, and it's also more complicated. So wholeheartedly, I would recommend Duolingo today. El Camino and other community, I will not talk for Foothill ANZA, but occasionally we do have international students who, for whatever reason, could not complete high schools. They can be admitted to El Camino College or Foothill ANZA. Lark nodding her head. If they could be admitted if they are 18 years of age or older. Moreover, students like that will not be in disadvantage transferring to four-year universities, because when they transfer to universities, even top universities, Berkeley, UCLA, out-of-state schools, these universities will not look into high school. High school for them is a secondary indicator. They will look into grade point average at a community college, as well as other things such as club participation, volunteer work, any kind of extracurriculum activities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. And another very important question that usually parents and students ask me about transfer guarantee. So do you have any university transfers guarantee? So I mean the university that like 100% guarantee that they can accept students after 2 years from community college, and they ready to accept them for the third year. Could you please name the institutions? Lark, please.
Yes, so we have guaranteed transfer admission with UC Davis, UC Irvine, UC Riverside, UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz, Arizona State University, Menlo Park, Notre Dame University. So those are the top schools that we have these relationships with. However, students who would like to transfer to the CSU system, which is California State University, that could be San Francisco State, San Jose State, Long Beach State, those programs, we don't need a guaranteed transfer admission agreement with those universities because our students are not having much difficulty gaining admission. So we created the guaranteed admission to really prove and really show you that if you meet a certain grade point average, that we will guarantee 100% that you will get admission into those universities. You do need to sign it's like a tag agreement that outlines the requirements to meet that tag. So it is, there are still some requirements that are part of this, of meeting the required GPA for your major, but it is a great way to have security, to know that you have transfer options available. And then our students are actually trying to apply to even higher level universities. So they apply to one tag, so they know they have the guarantee. And then at the same time, they're applying to UC Berkeley, UCLA, Ivy League schools, even in the East Coast, but they have that security at the end of the day that they have the guaranteed admission.
So technically, the student can apply any university, like in any US states, right?
Yes, yeah, great
After
question.
College.
Yep, we had students last year admitted to MIT, Columbia, USC, Brown even, we've had students at. Students can really go anywhere in the US, and those credits will transfer with them to the next university.
And
so
then,
it's really up to the student to decide what location they want to be at, what price point they want, because I have a student who transferred to South Dakota because they got a full scholarship, 100% full scholarship. So sometimes that's more important to the student than the brand name of the school. So I think it's wonderful for students to have so many options. We have over 4,000 colleges and universities in the United States for students to select from. And we have events at our campus, a transfer fair specifically for international students, where we bring over 100 different universities from around the US for students to be able to interact with, get to know more about these different opportunities.
All right, thanks, Lara. And same question for Leonid. Could you please name the universities which can guarantee the transfer from community college to 4-year college or university?
Those are all the same schools that Lark mentioned, with the exception of Notre Dame. We don't have transfer guarantee with Notre Dame. I think Lark did not mention UC Merced and UC Santa Barbara. We actually, because we're located not that far from Santa Barbara, we see a good number of international students going there. I think with Russian students, extremely popular because of the Santa Barbara TV series that played a while ago.
No, you remember this.
Everyone asked me, oh, how about Santa Barbara? Also, Santa Barbara has less math requirements than any other school for their economics major. Their economic major very popular, and they don't require calculus to go there.
All right.
Just to mention, so besides TAG program, we also have a TAP program, Transfer Alliance Partnership, which seems to be more important for international students at TAG, because those schools that I mentioned, or Lark mentioned before, actually not the most popular with international students. The two most popular schools and where we see students going, it's UCLA or UC Berkeley. Those are the top two, and they don't have a TAG program, but they have something called TAP program, which gives to students priority admissions. In addition to be in a TAP program, they also need to be honors program. And what we find that majority of our Russian students attend or take classes from honors program, which is very, very popular and very important. And they qualify into UCLA and UC Berkeley through this Transfer Partnership Alliance. So we don't really see, I don't think in 20 something years at El Camino, I ever saw students going to UC Merced or UC Santa Cruz. But we have every semester students that are transferring to UCLA because geographically it's just few minutes away from us. Our Cal State priority school is Long Beach because it's located just 15 minutes away from El Camino. So those are the top two transfer. Private schools is USC. USC is very close to us as well, but USC in a little bit a higher scale in terms of the price tag for international students. So we don't see as many students going there.
And Leonid, what about tuition and fees? So how much money do I need to have, like, in order to study at El Camino and feel myself comfortable?
Okay, everyone has a different level of comfort. I guess I will get my level of comfort when I get my Aston Martin. And it will require a little bit more than students need. I would say anywhere between $20,000 and $25,000 a year total.
Well, everything, housing, tuition.
Correct, everything together. And 25,000, it's when students purchasing a car, because many international students, when they come to California, they purchase car. In Los Angeles area, it's not really necessary, but it is convenient. So many students wish to purchase cars. However, also Southern California is good enough to use bicycle whole year round. And now with electric bicycles, it is very, very easy to get around, and weather permits to use bicycle 12 months a year. So tuition and fees is under $10,000. We're looking into medical insurance, which is ranging about $1,200 to $1,500 a year. And students need to plan about $10,000 for living expenses. To rent a room with 2 meals, which I'm talking about homestay, single room, within a house with an American family, probably will run into $900 to $950 per month. So 20 to 25,000, I would say it's a comfortable range. One of the participants asked about working. International students are welcome to work on campus, not McDonald's.
Yeah, but what if you have McDonald's at your campus?
If you have McDonald's on campus, I do not know. I never had McDonald's on campus, but potentially would be possible. But for example, at our international office, we hire every year about 10 international students, obviously various times, various positions, but our students run our, for example, our social network. So Instagram, Facebook, all the media, we outsource to our international students. They are in charge.
Okay. And Clark, what about tuition and fees at Foothill and the ANZA College?
Yeah, I just want to also quickly mention that at Foothill and ANZA, we do have a TAP program with UCLA as well. So there, as you can see, there are a lot of similarities between community colleges in California. Our total estimated cost is a little under $27,000 US. That will include everything that Leo just mentioned. So that is your tuition, your housing, health insurance, books and supplies, even spending money we have included in that amount. Our tuition is a little less than $9,000, but this will depend on how many units you take. The minimum number of units is 12 units for an international student. So if you take more units, like 20 units, the price point will increase slightly with that. So our housing situation, we recommend about $1,000 per month for housing. I know students who have found it for much less, and I know students who found it for much more. So it depends if you're going to share a room with another student, if you want your own room, if you want your own studio apartment and just one person living in that space, or if you want to live with a group of students in a house. So there's a big range, but there are ways to find deals and to meet up with other students to help reduce the costs for housing.
And what kind of accommodations Foothill and the ANZA College can offer for international students?
So to get started, we recommend our Homestay Program. The Homestay Program contract is only 2 months. So I tell students not to get too stressed out about their homestay. If you like your family, you can continue your contract month to month. But after 2 months, if it's not for you, then you can move out and find a place to live with your friends. So getting started, we recommend Homestay because finding an apartment from Russia will be quite challenging. And also we hear about some scams where students pay a down payment and they arrive and there's no house. So the safest way is to do the 2 months with the Homestay. If you like your family, again, you can extend, if not move into an apartment.
And Leonid, what about El Camino? What kind of accommodations you can offer for international students? Do you have maybe accommodation facilities on campus?
No, we don't. There are actually no community colleges. No community colleges have accommodations. There is one community college just built dorms and they can fill them up. So they're losing money big time. I just talked to them yesterday.
Are you talking about Shoreline? No?
I'm talking about Orange Coast College.
Orange Coast. I know, because you need to spend like $20,000 for it. Yeah.
No one can live there, right?
Yeah, $20,000 just for
they pulling hair. Right. So a good question. So Lark and I is like a brother and sister, knowing each other for so many years. We have identical answers. So she can probably we just can exchange. And I can speak for Foothill, the ANZA, and she can speak for El Camino College. It is the same near El Camino. I guess we are slightly cheaper because we're not in Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley is a very, very exclusive area, and so it's a little bit more expensive. Students can probably find a single room near El Camino College anywhere between $600 and $800 per month. Our homestay today range between $900 and $975 per month. if students would choose 2 meals in addition to room. Room sometimes comes with a private bathroom. Sometimes it's a shared bathroom. So that can vary, depends on accommodation. Usually they can find within 1 or 2 bus stops. If students apply for a homestay ahead of time, they may be able to find within a walking distance. And here is just my points that I make to every prospective student that want to go to any community college. You can apply last minute. Community colleges are extremely flexible, but if you apply last minute, your accommodation, your service, anything that you'll get from us will not be as good as if you do ahead of time, and it includes your housing. To find a good housing, it's usually better to do sometime in advance.
Okay. And probably, well, one of the important questions about job opportunities after graduating community college. So I'm gonna start from Lark. Could you please tell us about job opportunities when you graduate community college? What kind of job can you apply? And like, is there any chance to get any job for international student after graduating community college?
So in order to be eligible to work off campus after you finish community college, you must complete an associate's degree or a certificate program that is over 1 year, 1 year over. In that case, you can apply for OPT, optional practical training, and our students are finding jobs all throughout Silicon Valley. We don't do any job placement, so we don't actually put you in a job, but we have heard a lot of success stories from students who are working at the most famous tech companies like Google, Apple, Instagram, Facebook, which are all very close to us. But we're also hearing about students who find jobs because of their Russian language skills. Because you have that skill that American students do not have, that can help you find a job at a company because you speak Russian. You might have a very strong computer science background, but it's actually your Russian speaking skills that can get you in the door, so get you the job at the end of the day. So we're hearing stories about that. Students also are working at smaller companies as well. So it's not just large companies. Maybe they have a family connection at a company. We know of some students who are working at schools, are working in like a hospital, like for psychological services. So it really ranges greatly, and it's up to you. Once you receive your OPT authorization, you look for the job. You can do work within the job for 1 year, and then some students decide to transfer to the university following that. One thing I do want to mention is an associate's degree is not going to, if you only have associate's degree, the level of the job that you can receive will not be as high as if you have a bachelor's degree. So the expectation should not be to receive a very high level position with only associate's degree. We do encourage our students to continue on with their education, receive the bachelor's degree, but accessing a community college, one of the benefits is you can do 2 years of OPT. 2 years, get associate's degree, 1 year OPT, transfer, 2 years at the university, and then another year of OPT. So if you are looking for that work opportunity, attending a community college can give you that extra year of work experience.
All right, thank you so much, Lark, for such a detailed answer. And then you do have something to add on top of Lark's?
Not much. It's a very exhaustive answer. I guess my recommendation would not would not be to the OPT after 2-year degree. If a student has inclination and money to continue to 4-year school, I would not recommend unless student has a specific skills such as computer, accounting often, and nursing. For example, we have a very, very strong nursing program. So obviously after attending a nursing program, the students will really not need a further education. It's recommended, but doesn't have to. So students with a nursing degree can easily gain an employment at a very high rate. So my other, I guess it's not an exact answer to your question. So if a student feels that they don't really have money to pursue further education in California, there are other states which has a lesser tuition and fees. They may not be as interesting, as nice, as inviting as California, but there are other states with the tuition and fees considerably lower than California. As a transfer students, for example, state of Minnesota will get in-state tuition after first 2 years of community college.
Yeah, South Dakota.
My recommendation is continue if student is able, is not to spend a year of working, but continue directly to a 4-year.
All right, thank you so much, Leonid. And the last question from my list about COVID, because unfortunately, so the COVID changed a lot of plans for students and their parents and for the agents, for the representatives. So, and my question about how you guys deal with COVID currently. I mean, what do you plan for winter and spring intake? Are you going to take students on campus or they will be learning online? Lark, please.
Sure. So that's a great question. I know that we're all going through this together. This is truly a global pandemic. So I definitely hope that all of you are taking good care of yourself and staying safe. At Foothill and ANZA College, we just received an announcement that winter and spring quarter, because we are on the quarter system, so 3 intakes a year, that we will be almost 100% online for the remaining year. So international students have a few options. You can begin to take online classes from Russia and get started with your studies and then come to the US and Foothill and ANZA in the fall. Or you can still enter the US if that's possible. If you find a ticket, if you find a pathway in. We do have some students who still want to come to the US and they live locally, but their classes will still be online. So regardless if you are in the US or outside the US, you will be taking 12 units of online classes. And so far, we never know, but so far, the regulations are continuing to allow students to take 12 units of online classes, which is not the regular rule. Usually you can only take 1 within your first 12 units, but that flexibility is greatly appreciated right now for our international students since our campus is online.
All right. And what about El Camino, Leonid?
Once again, it is the same with El Camino College.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Right. You know, we're in California, you know, we're one big state, but we're still one system. The only thing that I want to add to it, which is been an issue for me personally, from the beginning of this pandemic. Yes, I would recommend as well to take maybe a spring semester online, but I would recommend to try to attain visa now, because if you're going to take spring semester online and then sometime during the summer discovers that you're unable to get visa to the United States, that would be a great disappointment. So El Camino College currently issue immigration documents outlining that student is permitted to arrive to United States. Student is permitted to take classes online, but it's optional. So El Camino also permit to take classes online from their own countries. But this I-20 will permit to obtain an F1 visa today in Moscow. I believe embassy opened up a few weeks ago, right? For a visa?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet, because one of my students actually was able to secure an interview to extend visa.
No, you can just renew F1 visa, but if you are a freshman, if you need to apply it like for the first time for F1 visa, no, there is no any chance. But you can apply outside of Russia, but that's different story.
That's maybe, I know in Kazakhstan you can
Kazakhstan
apply.
and Ukraine, yes.
Right. I would assume trip to Ukraine could be difficult. It's probably easier to go to Kazakhstan.
Right.
So yeah, one of my Kazakh students just got visa. So I would encourage at least to get visa maybe prior beginning classes at El Camino College or Foothill ANZA, because when one goes during the summer to embassy, once hopefully embassy will opens up, and then finds out that he or she cannot get a visa, it will be a huge disappointment, and students may feel it's some kind of scheme we're running here. So we're in the same situation as you are. We really do not know what's happening, and until vaccine become more prevalent, I guess it will be. Maybe I will use Sputnik instead of Pfizer. So, we all hope it doesn't really matter if it's a Russian, American, or French vaccine. You know, as soon as
it helps. Yeah, it
we
helps.
will be in a better place. I will be the first one. I'm not afraid.
All right. Thank you so much, Lark and Leonid, for all your answers. So we are done with the official part of our presentation. So let's leave 10-20 minutes for the answers. So let's start from the chat box. So Dmitry asking about geography and ecological program. It's like which of the campuses have this program?
Yeah,
so both of the both of the colleges have such kind of programs. So the question from Nikolai about McDonald's, so Leonid covered that question already. What level of English is needed for these educational institutions? So we also covered that part. So, but let me turn in Russian, and I will quickly explain. Да, еще раз добрый вечер, уважаемые участники вебинара. Какие вступительные требования есть в комьюнити-колледжах? Мы о них сказали, но немножко еще хотел добавить, что для поступления в американский комьюнити-колледж ничего сложного нет. По сути дела, нужно две вещи. Да, ваш школьный аттестат, ну, либо выписка оценок за 9, 10, 11 класс. То есть если у вас нет аттестата, да, вот вы учитесь в 11 классе, то вам достаточно сделать выписку, предоставить выписку оценок нам. Вот. И второй важный документ, который необходим для зачисления в комьюнити-колледж, это экзамен на знание английского языка. Либо IELTS, либо TOEFL. Да, либо даже Duolingo сейчас многие колледжи принимают, в частности, и Camino, и Foothill, и ANZA. То есть, по сути дела, на основании двух составляющих, да, вы получаете зачисление в тот или иной комьюнити-колледж. Вот. Также, пользуясь случаем, скажу, что наша компания является официальным представителем IELTS, тест-центра. Экзамены IELTS можно сдать в нашей компании. У нас есть компьютерный IELTS, есть классический бумажный. Компьютерный IELTS проходит у нас абсолютно каждый день. Вот. И хотел бы еще вернуться к стоимости обучения в комьюнити-колледжах, в частности, El Camino, Foothill и ANZA. Те цифры, которые озвучил Леонид и Ларк, 20-25 тысяч долларов, это сумма, которая покрывает абсолютно все расходы. Да, это проживание, питание, обучение, медицинская страховка, транспортные расходы, и карманные расходы. Вот. И это сумма условная, потому что есть студенты, которые готовы ужиматься, да, делить комнату с 2-3 другими студентами, да, и можно уложиться не знаю, в 15 тысяч долларов в год спокойно, если готовить самому, если жить в таких очень простых условиях, да, а можно жить в 5-звездочном отеле, да, и платить за него очень большие деньги. Вот. Но в общем и целом, да, я хочу, чтобы вы понимали стоимость обучения, именно обучения в комьюнити-колледже всего около 8,5 тысяч долларов. В Camino 8,400, в ANZA 8,200, ну, плюс-минус по стоимости оба этих колледжа, они одинаковые, вот, просто помимо стоимости обучения еще накладывается куча других расходов, но если у вас есть друзья, родственники, знакомые, которые живут недалеко от колледжей, которые готовы вас принять, то все, что вы будете платить, это будет, конечно, расходы за обучение, ну и медицинская страховка. So, let's move forward and to answer another questions.
Konstantin?
Yes.
I want to add just one point, which is relatively new for both of us. So used to be when students arrive, they would take placement tests. Placement tests kind of now going away.
Oh, really?
Especially for maths. So it is very, very important that students have a transcript. You mentioned as an optional to have a transcript. I would highly recommend to have a transcript for all last 3 years of high school, because that's most likely will allow them, especially Russian students, because of such a good preparation in terms of math, that allows them to jump maybe 1 or 2 levels in terms of math classes and go much higher and therefore save time and money. So most of our Russian students usually test directly into statistics, and it allows them to save time and money.
Okay.
So because they bypass college algebra. With English, we're still practicing probably Foothill the ANZA as well. We're still practicing placement, but it's also slowly going away. So this is something new that came within the last couple of years.
All right, thank you, Leonid. And the other question from Albert, do you have age limit? No.
Oh.
16. Some colleges do. Just give you example, our neighbor Santa Monica College, they will not take you unless you're 18 years of age.
Okay.
Foothill de ANZA and El Camino probably 16 or higher, right? We don't have really.
Same.
So once you receive a high school diploma in Russia, you can apply for community college.
Correct. And even prior to that, right. So I would not wait till
of course, yeah, that's right.
Applying for August session, but
of course.
But the main thing, so if students is under 18, they have to have a high school diploma. If they're over 18, high school diploma no longer required, but it is highly recommended to have one.
And another question from Albert, do you have master's degree program?
No.
Okay. Can I apply for 100% scholarship? So the question from Dmitry.
No.
So you don't have any 100% scholarship. Okay.
I think so. The previous question was about master's degree. We don't have a master's degree, but students with whom already have a bachelor degree, and we have few Russian students actually, they come for our certificate programs. So they often can upgrade the skill. It's quite popular with non-traditional students, means beyond high school, that they will come for certificate program. Computers, accounting, our paralegal program is extremely popular with non-traditional students. We used to have actually a couple lawyers from Russia that came to our paralegal program. So go
yeah,
figure.
Leo, that's a great point. The certificate programs are really the pathway for students who already have the bachelor's degree. I know some students who have done a certificate program, and then they apply to a master's program within the US. Community colleges are also a great place to complete some prerequisites that you might need if you're changing your major. Let's say for undergraduate, you studied literature, and for your master's degree, you want to do computer science. At community colleges, you can take some of the prerequisite courses that are required to get entrance for a master's degree. And then from there, you can transfer into a master's degree program.
All right. And the question from Karina, do you have any fashion programs?
We do.
Okay.
We have
2 thumbs up.
something that Foothill the ANZA doesn't have.
No, we don't have that, but we have students who transfer into fashion degree programs their 3rd year, but no, we don't have a fashion program.
We do have fashion design and merchandising, and students can do both, or can do fashion design or fashion merchandising. And we have a transfer programs. So UCs do not teach, University of California does not teach fashion design or merchandising. So most of the students will transfer either California state universities or private institutes. So there are a lot of private schools, such as there is one in Los-Angeles called FIDM, which we transfer to. I cannot think there is a well-known in New York. I cannot think right now the name of it.
Parsons.
Parson. Thank you. Parson. Parson is Rhode Island, maybe? No, New York. Don't
New
remember.
York.
New York. Thank you. So I know occasionally students go out of state, and with fashion design, we have students transfer before to New York. But in Los Angeles, it's probably FIDM, which is a private institute that specifically concentrate in fashion design and merchandising.
All right, thank you, Leonid.
I'm not sure if students getting all the answers. Do you want me to switch to Russian or stay in English?
So anyway, they can contact to us, and they will pull out any information from our agency.
Yeah.
So seems like last question from Varvara. I'm gonna cover that question. Насколько важны оценки аттестата? Да, Варвара, спасибо большое за ваш вопрос. Оценки для поступления в комьюнити колледж, они, скажем так, практически не важны. То есть если вы учитесь, либо учились на тройке, у вас есть несколько четверок, да, с большой долей вероятности комьюнити колледж он вас возьмет. Почему он это сделает? Да, потому что комьюнити колледж, он дает возможность абсолютно всем, ну, скажем так, исправиться, встать на правильный академический путь, да, и продолжить успешно свое образование. Поэтому они сильно не отталкиваются от среднего балла оценок, потому что средний балл оценок – это школа, все-таки комьюнити колледж – это следующая ступень, где студент все-таки уже более мотивированный, где он понимает, чего он хочет от жизни, вот, и комьюнити колледж дает возможность ему такую получить то, что он хочет, получить образование, и потом перевестись уже в университет на желаемую специальность.
In the States, they often call it second chance.
So another question from Anna. Если в 9 классе английский 4.
That wouldn't matter really.
Да, Анна, я просто пытаюсь понять ваш вопрос. 4, вы имеете в виду 4 по какой системе? Ну, в 10 месяце подтянули до 10-11. Да, вопрос из Украины. А максимальный балл у вас какой? 12. Да, если максимальный балл 12, то да, конечно, этого будет более чем достаточно. Но вообще для вступительные языковые требования по языковому экзамену в комьюнити колледж, они ниже, чем в университете. Это тоже является очень большим преимуществом. Вот. И В El Camino на самом деле есть такая фишка, о которой Леонид не сказал, но о которой я очень часто говорю студентам. Можно поступить в El Camino с экзаменом IELTS, если у вас всего 4,5 балла. При том, что если вы хотите сдавать экзамен TOEFL, да, то TOEFL у вас будет 61 балл, вот, что, ну, скажем так, это гораздо выше, чем IELTS 4,5. Вот. Но моя рекомендация, моя личная рекомендация, чтобы студент хотя бы имел 5,5 баллов IELTS, ну или TOEFL минимум 61, потому что эти требования, они не просто так придуманы. Потому что если у вас будет IELTS 4,5, ребенку будет первые 2-3 месяца, конечно, очень тяжело адаптироваться, первые 2-3 месяца учиться, вот, потому что не всю информацию будете воспринимать. Вот. Но отвечая на ваш вопрос, да, конечно, если вы подтянете в 10-11 классе до 10, до 11, это ответ, да, конечно, вы спокойно можете поступить.
Константин,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add something, and I can add. I'll do it in English. So, what we both have, Foothill, ANZA, and El Camino, within our program, and actually within all the programs, we have very strong support services to domestic students and to international students. El Camino, Foothill, ANZA, we have an army of academic counselors, including specific counselors assigned to programs, to international programs, plus specific counselor to assign to each subject. So like literally for 99 or 100 majors at Foothill, ANZA, we'll have literally 100 academic counselors, each one specializing in each major. In each semester, international students require to see an academic counselor. Why? So he or she does not make a mistake choosing following semester classes. So it's really each student will be worked with individually to make sure that they take right classes so they don't fail, they don't waste time and money, and they maximize their ability to transfer to 4-year school or whatever academic goals they might have to achieve. This is a very, very expensive service. Those academic counselors pay tons of money. So the student is monitored. The student do not need to worry, do not need to, oh, what a class I'm going to take next semester. So if you want, I'll translate. If you want, you translate. So however.
And
I think it's a really, really important point for community colleges. Many universities do not have such services.
So I'm going to cover that question. It's written in Russian. Анна, да, спасибо еще раз за вопрос. Какие программы есть в колледже, чтобы подтянуть до 6-6,5? Я полагаю, что речь идет об экзамене IELTS. Анна, если вы будете учиться в комьюнити-колледже, да, если вы будете учиться в комьюнити-колледже, то за 2 года, да, без всякой дополнительной подготовки ваш IELTS будет где-то 7,5-8 баллов, потому что вы будете жить, вы будете вращаться, вы будете обучаться на английском языке 24 часа, 7 дней в неделю, вы будете общаться на английском языке, вы будете общаться с иностранными студентами тоже на английском языке, вы будете жить с соседями, которые американцы, ну, либо как минимум иностранцы, и они общаются с вами на английском языке. Поэтому здесь какая-либо дополнительная подготовка, в принципе, вам не нужна, потому что, еще раз скажу, к моменту окончания 2-летнего обучения в комьюнити-колледже у вас примерный балл по IELTS как минимум будет 7,5, ну, может быть, даже ближе к 8. Вот. Но даже несмотря на это, вы можете дополнительно брать уроки английского языка. Да, то есть в каждом комьюнити-колледже есть дополнительные курсы ESL, то есть вы можете дополнительно заниматься английским языком помимо основной какой-то академической программы, которую вы выбрали там, по фэшн-дизайн, по химии, биологии и так далее.
And all the supporting services are free, including all the tutoring. So we have a lot of tutoring services in both colleges, and it's free. It's cost nothing. It's included in tuition and fees. Unfortunately, very few students using it. The other point is that when students transfer to 4-year school, only 1 out of 10 schools will ask for some kind of, English test to enter. None of the UC schools will ask for TOEFL, IELTS, or any other test. GPA from El Camino, GPA from Foothill, the ANZA. It's only what it's required to transfer. There is no need in any other test.
Okay, and there are a few other questions from Q&A sessions, from Q&A box. Can you tell more about business administration? So probably question to Lark, but briefly, just in a few words.
So like all the majors at Foothill and ANZA, you start with your general education and introductory courses in your major. So we encourage students to really balance out those two. If you only take your business classes and you're planning to transfer to a university, that will be a problem. So you need to meet with the counselor, as Leo mentioned, to build an education plan. The education plan is going to outline the courses that you need to take in order to successfully transfer. So we have different areas within business. However, the general education and the business are equally important in terms of transferring. But our business program, we have some great professors. It's our #1 major for international students. And from there, we have students who are admitted to UC Berkeley Haas School of Business. We have students who perhaps change to more like economics. So there is still some flexibility in terms of what type of business program you want to transfer into. But I do want to just put out there that you will have to balance this with the general education classes. Some students are very surprised about that when they come to the campus. They think they're just focusing in business, but you will be taking English, history, science courses, psychology, which is really what gives the students a well-rounded educational experience.
And do you have an acting department? So question for Leonid.
Acting?
Acting.
You mean theater?
I guess so. So
Okay.
that's the question from chat box.
We have film department. We have a film major, which is direction, cinematography, and we have a theater and drama. We actually have 2 theaters on campus.
And you also have acting for film.
Yes,
acting
so,
for
yes, we do have, which is drama and theater, which is acting, and we also have music and we have dance, which is today a necessity to become an actor. So you have to do everything. You cannot do just acting, but you also have to think and dance.
And
same at Foothill. We have drama, film and television, theater, music technology, and nowadays also technology with music is very important. So we try to combine some of the areas of study so students have more job opportunities in the future.
All right. And do you have any land, law, or urban planning programs?
Not specific. As transfer, yes, which is a part of the engineering, as urban engineering. So yes, we do as pre-engineering, but not as this is still a community colleges where we provide mostly general studies. So this specific not, and there are very, very few actually 4-year programs in urban design. That's usually a master's degree.
But the great thing is community colleges let you begin your first 2 years of study. And then, as Leo said, you can transfer in to your 3rd year into a very, very specific area of study that you're interested in. But you will have completed all of those very general courses already, so you can focus in exactly what you would like when you transfer.
Okay. So probably the last question I'm gonna cover it because it's written in Russian. Вопрос от Полины. Можно ли поступить в колледж, где нет International Student Program? Полина, в комьюнити-колледже, ну, насколько я понял, нет разделений на программы, которые для иностранцев, да, и которые для местных студентов. Максимум может быть там 1-2 программы, такие как, допустим, сестринское дело, это nursing, да, вот, допустим, в колледже Foothill и ANZA, да, к сожалению, иностранные студенты не могут поступить на эту программу, потому что колледж берет только местных студентов, да, а в Camino на программу по сестринскому делу можно поступить. Но в общем и целом колледж, он никак не делит программы, которые идут для изучения иностранцами, да, и для местных студентов. То есть изначально с первого класса, с первого занятия обучения вы будете вместе с американцами бок о бок, то есть у вас не будет никакого разделения, вы вместе будете ходить на классы, на лекции и так далее, вы будете, ну, вне зависимости от той программы, которую вы выберете, да, у вас будет абсолютный микс с американцами и с другими иностранными студентами. Да, я очень надеюсь, что ответил на ваш вопрос. Ну и, уважаемые участники сегодняшнего вебинара, спасибо большое за все ваши вопросы, спасибо большое, что нашли время присоединиться к сегодняшнему мероприятию. And let's say thank you so much, Lark, Foothill, ANZA College, and Planet, El Camino College. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all your answers, and we really appreciate your support because I know you more than like 8 years, both of you. So, and it's always a great pleasure, like at least to see you in Zoom, because I know
definitely.
I know that Lark comes to Russia so every year, but Leonid. Last time I've seen Leonid maybe like five, 6 years ago.
Yeah, I became refusenik, so in my college. So.
Yeah. Once again, thank you so much, guys. And
thank you
so much, Konstantin. Really good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you too, Leo. It's fun.
Good. Yeah. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
All good, Konstantin. Do you need anything from us?
As for now, no. You're good to go.
Thank
All right, take care, everyone. Be safe.
Konstantin, if you don't get money soon, let me know.
I will.
I'm not at this point. I'm not in charge. So if you see,
we will talk about it later.
Okay.
All right. See you, everyone. Bye-bye, and thanks everyone for joining us. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Всего хорошего.
Да, до свидания, Леонид.